Welcome into the Fan X Sports Channel for sports fans by sports fans. It's your boy Coach I. Where my dogs at? All right, man. We in here for a pregame show for the Capital One Orange Bowl between the Michigan Wolverines and the University of Georgia Bulldogs. All right, we're gonna bring in the normal crew. We got my boy Thad Parker. What's going on, Thad?
What's happening, man? Happy New Year's to everybody out there in video land or whatever you want to call it. Hope everybody good, being safe. Let's go. We ready for another week. Let's get it.
That's right, Thad. Spent some time in Georgia playing wide receiver while he was there with Coach Kirby Smart. So we're going to get the inside information. Let's go ahead and bring in tight end Javaris Johnson. What's going on, Jarvis?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Go Dogs. So ready to go ahead and get this game started today, man. Just looking forward to it.
That's right, man. And we got somebody that was in the same class as Coach Kirby Smart, played the whole time with him, played wide receiver down there in Athens. What's going on, CA Corey Allen?
Man, how y'all doing, man? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Look, hey, it's all on the line today, and we got to figure out a way to get the job done, man. I'm hoping the dogs are ready on the field. We definitely, as fans, are ready off the field. So, today the rubber meets the road. Let's figure this out.
That's right, man. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this, man. So, who do we think has the advantage?
Oh, you got a bad echo.
Yeah, that's somebody. Hold on. Let me see who got that. Yeah, that's CA. CA, we're going to need you to have some headphones, dog. So we're going to go ahead. Uh-oh, that might be JB. My bad. Hold on. Let me try you out, JB. Hold on, buddy. All right. There we go. All right. Like I said, we're going to get in here, man, talk about some of who got the advantages and disadvantages. Let's start out with the coaching staff, man. Who we thinking got the advantage at head coach? Then we'll move down to the staff itself. We'll go with you, Thad.
When you talk about the head coach, me personally, I'm just going to have to give it to Harbaugh, just based off, the experience that he has had and the things he's done in the NFL and college. But that's the only reason I'm going to give it to him with just because of the experience. And also, to be honest, I think he's possibly done a little bit more with less.
Okay, that is true because we have had the better recruiting classes under Kirby Smart. That is true. What about you, V? What you thinking, man?
Man, you know what? I'm still trying to get this camera together, man, at a good angle. So, pardon me, fellas, as you see it moving all over the place. But I think I had said a little bit early in our normal checks. I kind of get an edge, man. I get an edge to Kirby, and the reason why I get an edge to Kirby is, of course, Kirby has the Dogs in another position to be able to get to the national championship game. Harbaugh's been there at least 10 years at Michigan. And the reality of it is I don't think that their run this year still has anything to do with him. I think it has more so to do with that whole new staff of assistants that he brought on after he got rid of his normal staff. So I'll go ahead and give the nod to Kirby, not for the totality of decisions that they make during the game, but just overall operating the program.
Okay. So, CA, you going with Kirby or you going with Jim Harbaugh, who's got the advantage at coaching?
To be honest, I think the jury's still out on both coaches. I don't think either one has stepped above the other because I feel like, unfortunately, we're looking at a mirror image. We're looking at a team that's in a tough division.
Line,
say it again.
I said, don't toe the line. Give us one. Answer the question.
If you would learn to stop cutting me off, I would really enjoy what I got to say. But like I was saying, I don't give either one the nod because they're both in mirror image positions. They both are facing opponents every year in their conference that is the hugest or the biggest hurdle on their schedule. So they don't overcome it enough. Neither one's won a national title. So I think this is an opportunity to separate yourself from the pack when you look at Harbaugh and Kirby. Neither one is known as a tactician. They're both motivators and recruiters because they played at the schools that they're coaching at. So great guys to lead a program. But the difference isn't because of the X's and O's, it's because of the Jimmy and Joes. So
that's true. Like V said, man, they went out and at Michigan and hired some new people on the staff. So as staff as a whole, but they got it done this year. They got over that Ohio State hump, but we had statistically the #1 defense up until the SEC championship. So who
You got to
going
get
with?
Harbaugh the credit for that, though.
That's true. That's true. So you going with who? What staff you going with, that?
Now, I think, just in my particular opinion, I do think we have the better staff, and it goes back to what some of the guys have said earlier, is because of recruiting. If we can get the better Jimmys and Joes, then, you know, I think that's a big testament to what the staff is doing.
That's right. All right. So what about you, V? You going with the Bulldog staff or you going with the Wolverine staff?
Well, like I said, man, I think that Kirby has always had a knack for having guys that can push the players that we bring in here to get us to the promised land. We just got to get over that hump when we get there. So I'm going to get a nod to Kirby and our staff, not because it's my squad, it's just because I believe that he's done a better job over his tenure that he's been here. And that's right. You know, you do got to give Harbaugh the credit for making the move, but he's been there 10 years. He had to make the move, or else they were going to make a move on him. So that was the conversation. That's been the conversation surrounding him. And but to his credit again, he did bring in some guys that I think that paid some dividends for him, as evidence from the fact that they're playing us tonight in a few minutes.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's get to some of these comments, man. I got Coach Jeff in here, man. He's hating on the Big Ten. He said the Big Ten is trash. He said he's going with Kirby because Kirby's been there before. And then also he says UGA has the championship nod, has to go to UM just for that reason. And then let's see here. What else we got? Shelby getting in. What's going on, Shelby? Said with the Go Dogs.
What up, Shelby?
Go Dogs.
What up, Big Mike?
My boy Mike Mixon getting in here. He say middle of the line on both sides. He said that's where the game will be won. So yeah, we got Tony Small in here with the Go Dogs.
T Small.
T Smizzle.
You know what he's talking about.
All right.
That's another dog. Bulldog, Shed win.
There we go. So do
Big time.
Coming off that SEC performance, that there's going to be any lackluster start for the Dogs, CA?
I hope not. You know, I thought a lot going into that game, so it's hard for me to have anything as far as a concrete opinion on what we're going to see this evening. You know, I'm hoping that we start fast because we really don't have a choice. I mean, that's our best bet, to try to play ahead of Michigan. This is a team that wants to control the trenches, try to dominate the time of possession, and be effective on third down defense, trying to rush our passer who's not known for getting the ball down the field, especially effectively and efficiently to the perimeter. So we need to start fast. We need to create momentum. We need to create opportunities on both sides of the ball. Starting slow, I don't feel like we have that luxury at this point. Right now, we need to fine-tune this, and I'm hoping that this bowl preparation, that's what that time is for. You know, we don't have freshmen anymore. Everybody had a chance to grow up. Everybody had a chance to fight for their job. And at this point in the season, we need to have the best 11 on the field at all times. So I'm looking at the kitchen sink to come out. Starting slow is not an option. We need to come out and really force ourselves on Michigan because otherwise they're going to impose their will on us.
That's right. Thad, so you spent the season, you know, pretty much telling everybody about matchups. Is there a matchup that you see as a problem for the Dogs tonight?
The only thing that kind of concerns me, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think this is a surprise to anyone, but, you know, the old book ends they have, guys. I mean, they got one. Matter of fact, the guy that they have coming off the edge is in some drafts, he's the #1 draft pick. So, I mean, it's possible we can have a hard time blocking not only him, but his counterpart.
Okay. What about you, V? Anything you see other than those two bookends that might cause us some problems?
Well, I'm still a little concerned about our back end on offense, man. We talk a lot about Michigan's run game, but truth be told, Michigan has the most big plays in the entire country. You know, over 50 yards. I'm talking about these guys can chuck it down there. Now, of course, it's completely dependent upon them being able to run the ball. And that play action plays heavy in their offensive game plan. But I'm still concerned with our back end. But what I am a little less concerned about, what makes me a little less concerned, I ain't gonna say I'm less concerned, what makes me a little less concerned is that we at least have had this time to kind of lick our wounds from what Alabama did to us, and we saw what happened on our back end when we don't get pressure. So If we can shore that up, I'll feel a lot better. If we could look a lot better on that back end with those DBs, those safeties, I'll feel a lot better.
Okay. Let's get to some more of these comments here. Got Shelby saying we got to start fast, just like you guys said, man. I don't think we can play from. I don't think we can play from behind as we not against a great defense like they have. I mean, I'll keep saying it. I'm just not confident. I'm confident Stetson Mike can get it done, but not from behind.
Hey, Coach, I don't think neither team is in a good point to be behind 10 points. 10 points or more, either team going to be in problem.
We got my boy Marcus Sellers getting in and say the game will be no contest with JT, but let's slow play with Stetson and see what happens. Shit.
Slow play, JT. Listen, Stetson is where it's at. That's what we're going to get.
I mean,
whether we like it or not.
Exactly. It is what it is at this point. Then you got Shed said we got to use those tight ends. I'm definitely with that. I just don't want Brock Bowers getting targeted 20 times and the rest of the receiver core getting targeted 10 times total. Like, because that's what happened in the SEC championship. I like at some point, man.
We got to put the ball on the outside. We got to put the ball on the outside, man.
You do. Exactly. Then you got Shelby say tight ends got to get involved. Might say, well, we didn't play from behind against Bama. I think that's what we do. Bama just got us discombobulated. Hey, Bama got us. I don't know, man.
Discombobulated on us.
And you failed it.
Yeah, I checked him. I'm real quick. Okay.
I know it. So is there anywhere CA that you see that we can have an advantage? I mean, Michigan got those two bookends out there. Do you see us having an advantage somewhere?
I don't know. Again, I'm not as confident as I was, but I do feel like we have an opportunity to run the ball on this team. And I think that's going to be attractive if we show up in the trenches. If Jamari Sawyer shows up, if these guys on the offensive line show up ready to run block, that's going to be something that will be very tempting for us to take advantage of because it does two things. It wears them down and it chews up clock. But, you know, as a fan, it doesn't necessarily get us any better because we all kind of have this elephant in the room still. So I want to do what it takes to win this game. But, you know, we got a long list of things in front of us. But, you know, the task at hand is Michigan. I think running the ball is going to be extremely attractive against this defense. I hope we have success early because that'll give us a chance to have some play action maybe on the back end and protect Stetson without jeopardizing him with throwing early on downs when we don't have the advantage of the chain. So I think that's going to be the most enticing part. Falling into that trap is going to be easy if we have success. But at the same time, I'm really looking to see how we can spread the ball around using other playmakers because we haven't done it to this point, and everybody knows we want to run the ball.
That's true. And I like something you touched on. Like, definitely don't want to put Stetson in those situations where he going third and long. I've always said if we can run the ball, then Stetson can definitely, get it going. So, Thad, now we saw a little bit of George Pickens in the SEC championship, but it was only for like one or two plays. You think we get more of him tonight?
Well, I would have to assume so, just because of time. He's had time to get even healthier. I think me and JB talked about this previously. Those 2-3 weeks he had, even from a percentage standpoint, he has to be 15, 20, 35% better than he was when we last saw him. So with that being said, we still got to give the guy the attempts. You know what I mean? We got to give him the attempts. And I think something that CA just touched on was very key. The way that our offense rolls, we play off our defense, but we have to be able to run the ball to get the play action game and get those one-on-one opportunities for our receivers. That's how we make big plays down the field.
That's true. Let's get some more of these comments. And Shelby touched on something good. She said we need an entire team effort. They got all these awards, so we need to show up tonight. I mean, we got I think Jordan Davis.
That's on a fact.
Hey, Jordan Davis got 2 awards. Nakobe, best linebacker. We need these dudes to show up and show out. And we got Marcus saying definitely have an opportunity for the run game to keep Stetson within his comfort range, 10 to 20 yards with that tight end game. Brock Bowers is definitely going to have to be big. Like I say, I think Darnell Washington is going to need to be used tonight. What do you think, JB?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, we got 2 of the most dynamic tight ends in the country. A freshman phenom. So you have to be able to use that talent. But kind of like what we just touched on earlier, you use that talent to actually free up the talent that we have on the outside also. Let's keep in mind, man, you can't key just in the middle of that field, because that allows them to be able to cover one with two, or cover two with one. You know, if you pack it in, because they're gonna want to stop our run anyway, most of the defense is gonna be in between the hashes. So we have to be able to not only run the ball, but we got to be able to make some plays on the outside. You make some plays on the outside, man, that frees up everybody. Now those talented tight ends are not only making some plays, but they going deep, they scoring touchdowns, and they are taking off on these guys. So can the tight ends make some plays? Of course. I mean, look at the dynamic duo that we have, but we need to hit that outside ball game a little bit with these receivers.
That's true. And we got Mike coming in here saying he hoped that JD99 took inventory of all the overrated talk, because he did have some times in that SEC championship, man, when he was kind of gassed. So hopefully he took note of that. Do you think Michigan tries to implement? Do you think Michigan tries to implement some of that up tempo, CA?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, Jordan Davis, that's some bad film. That's real bad film on Jordan Davis right now. I mean, there's no running from that. He has to acknowledge what he just put on tape. That was horrible. Everybody saw him early in the game and throughout the game, sucking eggs, hands on hips, hands above his head, trying to find his way, trying to get wind in his lungs to just be competitive. There were plays where he wasn't competitive. I anticipate that burned his seat a little bit. I anticipate that motivating him, because that, to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, when you go in that locker room, the onus is on the defense tonight, because it was #1 ranked all year. We've leaned on you. You just won all these awards, just like Shelby said. You got all this hardware, whether it's the coach, the linebacker, or the D-line. Show up. And this is the time. This is a team that's catered to those talents. It's time to show up on defense. I know the offense has been haphazard all year. So when they're skittish, you know, I understand it might take some time to build up, but I need this defense to be #1, because that's the only way this thing works. That's the Stetson. That's what Stetson needs. He needs a #1 defense to show up and support him tonight.
That's true. And when I was watching the SEC championship, and when one of my friends was talking, I felt like in the first half, the offense didn't play great, but they did enough. They had 17 points, but our defense didn't show up until the second half. So Thad, you said early in the season that our defense we go as our defense goes. How you thinking the same thing tonight?
Before I answer that question, man, I want to give a shout out to Atlantis Gary. What's up, another Bulldog? I saw him just check in.
OG, big OG.
Yeah, what's up, OG? Good to see you, man. Hope everything good with you. Happy New Year's. Once again, you know, our defense is our strength. CA said it early in the year. You know, why go against something that, you know, we know our defense is our strength. But for me, being an offensive guy, at the end of the day, coach, we got to be able to score we got to be able to score more points than the next team. It don't matter. I don't care what they score. We got to be able to score more points. But with that being said, one of our guys, I wish he was on the call. He's not, Cal. He said something to me that really struck out to me on one of our calls. JT is our starting quarterback because Stetson is our starting quarterback because he brings a different athleticism.
Okay.
If this game calls for it, let some of those throws that he has be runs. Let's use that athleticism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's insinuate where he has that make him great. You know what I mean? I want to see some of that.
I think I'm definitely with that, especially if that's what we selling, that Stetson's, you know, mobility is what got us here. We need to use that a little bit, especially to keep those bookends at home, you know, at home. So but
he needs to be a threat. If we're gonna run zone read, he has to be a threat to keep the ball and run it.
That's true. That's true. So let's get to some more of these comments, man. We got like Thad said earlier, man. We got Orlandis Gary, RBU, you know what I'm saying, in the building. We got Antonio Partridge, he in the building. Tony Small, agree with CA. All right, we got.
I see you, JV.
OG says all love. All right, and then we got Antonio say, OG, big homie, glad to see you still around. At UGA track dog. All right, we got a lot of dogs in the house, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna ask a question, not to be looking ahead. I know CA like to look at the opponent right in front of us, but let's say we do win. We already know who we're gonna meet up with. Will it be the same outcome, or what you thinking, CA?
Hey man, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll take my chances, but I don't know. You know, all I can do is roll the dice with what we got. I love whatever we put out there on the field, and I'm gonna die with it. I'm gonna ride with it. I'm gonna die with it. So, you know, I would love the opportunity to have that chance to face that demon again, because we owe it to ourselves to be better than that when we hit the stage. You know, it's never too big. It shouldn't be ever too bright for a Bulldog to show up. And we went to bed that was embarrassing. And that's what I need to see tonight. I need for this team to acknowledge that that's not who we are, because what we put out there, you can't recruit, play, or be enticed by that. So, you know, I'm hoping for better, and whatever it leads us to, it leads us to. But we got to show 4 quarters tonight.
That's true. My boy Mike say we
shook.
say yeah. Say they got us shook. Bro. Hey man, but hey, listen, man. At some point, you got to get over the hump. That's what Michigan did to Ohio State, man. At some point, you just got to do it.
You.
So, Antonio said, "Church." OG said, "Damn right, go Dogs."
Oh man!
All right, we used to eat together in '96 with Big Wiggins. Oh man, so I don't know, man. Hey, we're getting closer and closer to kickoff. It's about 9 minutes away. Hopefully, I always like for us to win the toss so we can play defense first, since that's our backbone.
Are we gonna do a score? Are we gonna predict, or what we gonna do real quick?
We are definitely gonna predict our scores. Go ahead, Thad. We'll start with you and give anything else that you want to say after you get your score prediction, though.
You say after the score prediction?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I think my score prediction, of course, I'm leaning with the Dogs. I like us 24-17 for my score prediction.
Okay.
One thing I will say is, once again, styles make matchups. I think this is going to be a very good game. The only thing that I give you my concerns is Michigan actually being able to run the ball on us, because at the end of the day, once again, I know statistically we had a great defense, but we really don't know how good we are because we haven't played any top-tier teams other than Alabama. But with that being said, I do think offensively we'll be able to run the ball on them, and I think that's going to be our edge for tonight.
All right, JV, same question, dog.
Man, I was leaning to that 24-17 score myself. I think it's going to be a close game. Much like what everybody said, man. I think we just have a very similar team. Very similar teams. We have very similar concepts. You know, we both want to be hard-nosed. We both want to be, you know, the biggest dogs and the biggest cats on the block. So it's going to be a fight. And I think that we're going to bring it to them just like they're going to bring it to us. But kind of jumping back to that question, you didn't give everybody. You only gave the CA.
My bad.
Go ahead, JB.
I'm gonna jump all the way in. You know what I'm saying? I don't pull no punches. Look, I already got my natty ticket, so I'm betting we're gonna beat them. But I definitely will say that if we meet up with them again, man, I think we're gonna come up on the short end of the stick. Not because we don't have the talent, but because we showed a propensity to be stubborn and not make the adjustments that are necessary to make in games that count like that. So until I'm shown different, I got to believe and look at history, because history is the best predictor of the future. But I got the Dogs tonight, man. Let's go.
All right, CA, you up to bat?
Short and sweet, man. Hey, man, he said stubborn. Kirby is going to be stubborn tonight, 20-17. We're going to run the ball down their throat. He's going to protect Stetson. Go Dogs.
I'm with CA. I think it's going to be 20-17. Possessions will be limited because both teams are going to, continue to try. Neither team is going to go away from the run. It doesn't matter if it's working or not. so possessions will be limited. So I'm going with 20-17, like CA, all Dogs. All right, let's get to some of these score predictions in the comments. We got Antonio say the Dogs 34-12. Okay.
Get him, Pat.
I like it.
T Small say 31-17 Dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Coach
too.
Jeff,
Ooh.
the South Carolina fans, said 27-3 dogs. Oh, God.
Hey, I'll take that.
Oh, boy, that'd be sweet.
Well, what you
I'd
talking
enjoy
about?
that.
That defense showing up in that one.
I know.
That's what I want.
Shelby says it's gonna be a touchdown, 28-21.
That's a fight. That's a battle. That's a
Okay.
4-quarter game right there.
My boy Mike said
Ooh.
38-10 dogs. Jesus.
Mike, I would love to take that to the bank. That's an easy night right there.
What you
Real.
talking about?
That might change some perception going into that championship game.
Yeah, we might. We threw the ball. We threw for 300 yards in Mike game.
Mike says it's gonna be Kentucky 2.0. I would
Yeah,
absolutely
a lot better
love
team
that.
than Kentucky was.
Hey, he did
I
that.
think
I
so.
like you. I see where you're coming from, Mike. Good
I
call.
will say they are a better team than Kentucky, but if I had to choose a coach, I'm going with Mark Stoops or over Jim Harbaugh. I just think he's a better coach. He don't be having nothing, dog, and he be competing. So
I like those
You
do more with less coaches too, but I'm just saying. Yeah.
all right. Hey, Antonio he liked that 38-10.
Oh man.
All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. We appreciate all of y'all joining in for this quick pregame show. We about to watch these Dogs and these Wolverines get it on. May the
Go
best
Dogs.
team win.
It is.
Hey, man, happy New Year's. Everybody be safe out there.
Happy
Man,
New
Happy
Year.
New Year's,
Middle of the road.
everybody. Go Dogs. All
Go
love,
Dogs.
baby.
Go Dogs.
That's what's up.